All right, so this week we are in Galatians chapter 6, and we're going to be just in the first part. We're going to be in verses 1 through 10, and we're really focusing on bearing one another's burdens. Verses 1 and 2, Paul makes it really, really clear right out the bat. We are called to look out for one another. He uses the phrase bear one another's burdens because there are going to be times when it's too much to carry by yourself, but God in his all-knowing sovereignty designed a local body of believers to be able to come alongside each and every one of us and help us through those times. So we're going to be spending some time focusing on, if you see a friend struggling, reach out to them. See if you can help them in some way. And if it's you who are struggling, reach out and ask for help. It is godly to be aided in our walk with Christ and in our relationship with him. It's clear, especially in verse 3, nobody is above being helped. Verse 4 gets a little picky, and it almost seems like it's a contradiction, but we're going to talk about how it's not a contradiction. And verse 4 is how we are responsible for our own burden. That's our responsibility. Our neighbor is not held accountable for when we fail, for when it's too much and we don't follow through with everything that we could have. That's not their responsibility. That's our burden that we bear. And most days, hopefully, our burdens will be enough to where we can handle it on our own with the Lord's help in our relationship with him. However, at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to make sure we're getting things taken care of that we need taken care of. We can't blame our neighbor for not coming to help us. That's not an excuse, and that's what verse 4 is talking about. As far as a parent point for this week, really, it just comes down to talking about a time where either you were helped and it really made an impact on you and where you were spiritually at that time, or a time when you were able to help somebody else out. And maybe you can talk with your students and help encourage a discussion to where they can find those same things that they've gone through already and come to a better understanding of this passage by talking about those experiences that they've already had and that you've had as their parent. That's all we have for chapter 6 in Galatians, and that's the book. We got through this book in 6 weeks. Well, a little more. We had to take a break for a couple events, but we did it. We made it through, and Ephesians will be next. And hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be done with Ephesians by the time Christmas rolls around as well. So we'll see you next time for Ephesians chapter 1.